Monday, and let me get some light on the situation here. That helps the white balance a little bit to turn on the screen. Monday, the 21st of August. I'm glad to hear that my folks out in California were not impacted heavily like some folks. I think it sounds like Palm Springs area and then Baja California, Mexico got some flooding. Of course, hoping those folks are all right, but glad that my folks are okay. Cheers. I just got up, as you can see. For the person who was asking me to tell my viewers about a new release, no, that's not how I operate. If you want my attention about something, send me a copy and I'll review it. But no, I'm not advertising for anybody else. Unless I want to, via a review. And with that in mind, I did listen to this yesterday, quite a bit of it, JFK Avalanche Zone. Apparently this came out on vinyl a couple of years ago originally. And this is a new CD version with a couple of extra tracks. I like this. It's electronic. There's almost an ASMR, is that the term, aspect to it. I like the texture of the tones and I guess the word is patches that he's used, or the way that he dials his sounds in. A very sharp, but not unpleasingly sharp, just like really clear. And what I listen to this, big tones, big, almost like circular tones that it's repetitive, but I liked it. I found myself digging it. It's like, wow, okay. It does lend itself to what Richard says about the people he decides to work with. It's a work that this is what this person is doing, and that's it, Check it out or don't. I like it. I do. JFK Avalanche Zone. It's a stark visual for the cover. It's fitting though. It's fitting. I played a couple things yesterday. I had a good visit with Blake. He stopped by. Good to see him. But he's heartbroken. And he has some work to do on himself. And I know that Blake watches my videos, so I'm not talking behind his back. I'm not going to talk about his stuff, too openly, but it's like, it's a common human challenge. Balancing emotions with intellect, with self-respect or the lack of it, and substances, primarily alcohol. I'm so glad I don't like alcohol. There's what it is. That's the problem. Not Blake. That damned alcohol and his relationship with it. So we had a good talk, but I let him know, it seems like a lot of people don't know how to say stuff like that. It's, I let him know, Blake, it's not what you tell me. It's not what you're telling people. I'm going to do this. That's not it. It's between you and you. You can tell me you're going to do this, but that doesn't mean anything to me, and it really doesn't mean anything, Blake. Telling people what you think you're supposed to say, or even if you really mean it, the dialogue that is most important in self-improvement and just dealing with stuff, internal conflict, is the personal. It's you facing yourself, not running away, and not trying to numb things because it don't work. Interestingly, I had not a full conversation, but I dropped a message on the young man who I helped to raise and lived here on and off with me for years, David. He likes to drink, and it at times causes problems. And so I dropped a note on him saying, I haven't seen you in a while. If you need to talk about anything, I'm here for you. So glad my days of abusing substances are behind me. I went through it. I sure did. So, enough of all that stuff. It's going to be hot here. It's supposed to get up to 100 degrees today with a heat index of 116. I'm taking it real easy. Matter of fact, I didn't even open my curtains in the rest of the house to try to keep the temperature down. I'm taking it real easy today. The only thing possible is if Tim gets in town today for RAF and the guys wanted to start rehearsing tonight, I'll do that. Okay. So what did I play? Well, okay. So I don't watch regular TV. I watch the internet. And so I watched several programs on the Make Weird Music channel. I don't follow any channels regularly. I come and go. Okay, the main thing I do is my channel here. But I've watched interviews on there, and then I noted that they have a series going of the weirdest records of 2021, whatever, different years. I enjoyed it and learned about some bands, some records I never see here. The sort of thing that if I saw these things after hearing them, I'd definitely buy them. Interestingly, one of the records that came up on one of the lists for, I think, 2021 that I do have, which I don't think is weird, is Flying Lotus's Yasuke soundtrack. Music from the original anime series. This is real good. Love that cover, too. Excuse me. I love the way that they use the Pink Floyd from Dark Side of the Moon, that arpeggio right before time, I believe. It's used cleverly. What really caught my attention here, it's a soundtrack, so there's a variety of themes on here. I love themes. But what the theme on here entitled Crust, I had to play that several times to kind of decipher what it was about that was saying, this is really good. It's a real simple little thing, actually, that he's doing and repeats, but it's real good. And that's the thing I like about soundtracks and music that can be used for background, is that sometimes some of the most interesting and beautiful little moments musically are happening while being used for something unrelated. So that was a real good listen yesterday. Was talking to someone about, it was because so let me just get this all together. I had showed where I had done that blind pull for you guys and ended up showing Apricity by Sid Arthur. Well, I ended up playing this yesterday, and I ended up really diving into it. Played side 2 probably 3 times, and I really liked the last track, Apricity. Posted it online, and I hear from a fellow collector that they have likely broken up. That's too bad. I thought there was a lot of promise here. But I also could see where there was a trajectory that was attempting to make them commercially viable and successful. And it looked like it wasn't going to happen on the level that maybe the label or maybe they personally wanted it to happen. And maybe that's why they broke up. I don't know. I thought they were really good. That led me to pulling this recent release, London Brew, where these sessions were inspired by Miles Davis's Bitches Brew. They don't try to emulate it at all, which is good. But Raven Bush, who was in Sid Arthur, Kate Bush's nephew, is on here on keyboards and violin. And there are many passages on here where things really come together, and it's grooving. There's my neighbor, cousin Ray, if you can hear that, his motorcycle revving up. It's 8:30 in the morning, and can you hear it? If you listen close, you can hear the music too. I hear his music every day, and sometimes he'll play it really loud. But that London Brew is actually pretty good. There's some parts where they're searching. That's what it sounds like to me. It's like they're waiting for the next thing to gel. And on some parts it doesn't. To my ears, things don't quite gel. But mostly it's good. Already having some hubbub with RAF. Oh, good. So we will start rehearsal tomorrow. Yeah. So RAF is a whole story. It's like the guy that's BL something that comments sometimes expressed interest in hearing our story. I might talk about it more at sometime, but it's fraught with a lot of drama, and so I need to be in the mood to go there and talk about it. Not right this morning. Another of my ECM collection, The Struggle Continues by Dewey Redman Quartet. So glad I got to see Dewey Redman live with Keith Jarrett. What a player! What an underrated, not talked about enough saxophonist. Right in there with folks like Pharoah Sanders and Sonny Rollins. You know, he's a great voice on his instrument. And this is a very good album. Very good. It goes from straight ahead into expressive, seemingly improvisation, into some free spirit blowing. This is good. And he's got Ed Blackwell on drums. That always seals the deal for me. Ed Blackwell is a drummer I highly rate. I love his work. You know, regarding regarding Rick Rubin, you know, I'm not really interested in trading opinions. You know, I just share what I think. You know, it's not something I really want. It's not something I want to talk about at all. I just, you know, in passing, I share that. Rick Rubin ain't nothing to me. Man. So it looks like we won't rehearse tonight, but tomorrow. And trying to keep it from conflicting with my meeting with Hank Red. Looks like it won't. But I'll be going from one session to the next with tomorrow. That's fine. Good thing we don't have to play outside or anything. This weather is something else. It ain't nothing to mess with. So, just to, I guess, wrap up, because I'm just waking up and getting my mind together. It is good to know that from you folks in your comments back to me that some of the things that are said on this label, and so, yeah, I don't want to talk about this. Here is the fellow SSP Brazil. I'm just going to remove that because I don't care, okay? No disrespect to you, but I don't want to talk about the differences in our opinions about stuff, frankly, at all. I don't, okay? Peace. So yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Jeez. Also, interestingly, you know, again, people, we have impressions of one another. And when people say, looks like you're in a good mood today, as though I was in a bad mood in another video, look at my expression, okay? It's kind of like, again, I don't know what gives people that impression, but that's not what's going on with me. I'm generally not in a bad mood at all. My daily focus is to be functional and clear, okay? And as a result, emotionally, I'm pretty steady most of the time. I get irritated and angry about things that are irritating and irritating. I dare say this, being still to this day, being a member of a minority race, or not being white, living in a world that is out of balance regarding races and rights, that anger is under the surface all the time because of the way the world is, okay? And I'm just responding to it. It's madness, you know. I'll go there, you know, the fact that we're still waiting for someone to be incarcerated for some of the most egregious crimes against this country. We're still waiting for justice because this person is perceived as rich, white, privileged. He has the nerve to talk about there being a two-tier justice system that's not fair, and he's always claiming to be the victim when he's the one who is victimizing the entire country because he's a sore loser and never grew up, seems to not understand what love is, and so is just out to protect his fragile, fake ego. There, that's what I have to say about it. I'm just expressing my opinion, so if folks feel like they want to come over here and unload some crap on me, I'm just going to delete it, okay? Don't take what I say personally. Understand I'm expressing what I see and feel, okay? It's really that simple, all right? It is, my goodness. That's why I really do enjoy one-on-one conversations in person. In person, I'd be very interested in talking to most anyone and listening and caring about your opinion. In that way, we can go back and forth, you know, and that is fun. But on here, just let me, you know, I'm just going to say what I got to say, and I'll decide what. Yeah. Don't take it personally. We all have boundaries. Yeah, I'm just trying to have good days. I enjoy this connection with the world, though, very much, very much. I got it wasn't a message for me from Edward Caspell. He was trying to send it to someone else, but accidentally sent it to me, which led to a quick conversation on Messenger. I'll be damned. The man feels like a friend. He really does. I like that. Okay, people. I can't think of anything else. Family, I'm glad it sounds like everyone is okay out there and that the storm has passed. Okay, folks, take care. And talk to me.